Well, hey everybody. Welcome back to the shop. This till I'm done with this CST10 out here. It's gonna be video on top of video. There's no way around it. But sorry. The last two I put up, and they was back to back. You know, if it wasn't for Mr. TNT, or now he's changed the name of his channel, Old Guy in the Shop, Built Not Bought. Go by and check him out. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know the comments was turned off on those videos. The one where I was sitting in the chair talking about the RTV, yeah, I'd have had a few cold snacks. So I was repeating myself. Anyway, RTV, if you're going to use a gasket, forget the RTV. If you're not going to use a gasket, hit the RTV. But don't smear that stuff around everywhere. I mean, that's just lunacy. There's no sense in putting RTV and coating the gasket top and bottom and sticking it on something. I mean, you're defeating the purpose. Just don't even use the gasket. But anyway, all right, with that said, we're back out here with the CST10. All right, so our next, sorry, the neighbor's mowing. Our next goal, again, is still the carburetor. I know, y'all might have seen this hanging out, but I got to reroute that and stick it back here, and I just ain't got to that. But anyway, so we're playing with the suspension, right? And so he's an LMC guy. All right, so LMC has a whole kit. Every suspension piece you need for the front of this thing, $500. And I'm telling you, man, hey, go for it. I mean, inner, outer tie rods, the tie rod sleeves, A-frame, control arm bushings, is that what you call them? I just call them A-frames. Everything to mount those control arms up to the truck is there. I mean, anything you want. The kit's got every bit of it, from front to back. So, I'm telling him, hey, $500, man. Springs, everything, right? So, anyway, what caused this suspension thing to come up is not only the front end needs to be replaced, but let me get under here a minute and we'll show you something. If the camera will pick it up. All right. So, you see the rear springs, right? All right, check this out. See where these two are laying on top of each other? This is pretty weak too. This spring is shot, and it's way the other side is too. The front springs are not collapsed and sitting on top of each other like these are, but they're weak. So, that's why we come into play with, let's replace the whole darn suspension under this thing. I'm not going to go up there on the the trailer arms, but the bushings, they're almost non-existent. They're busted, All right, so now we come back here to this tracking arm, and I know I can't get you in there to see it, but the thing is bent, and the bushings are just, they're gone, right? And it's going to take an act of God to get this stuff off of here. But you come down, everything's running straight, and then it's got a bend right here, right? Which, no big deal. The truck track straight and everything like that. But if we're going to go through all this trouble of replacing the whole suspension front and back, this needs to be replaced too. All right, now how did this get bent? You may ask. All right, how? Let me get out from under here. All right. So the year after he bought this thing, was driving around. Let's go back a little bit. He bought this truck from a guy that done painting, and it had ladder racks, and no telling how many 5-gallon pails of paint in the back of this thing, which leads into why the rear springs are collapsed, right? So, all right, the trailing arm just bent, right? So you see this big dent. I don't know if I think you can see it. I don't know. It just dips in, right? So he was out working in the field one day, and a combine smacked this thing, and didn't even realize they smacked it. They scooted like maybe 100 foot across this field, and that's how that trailing arm or that tracking arm got bent, right? So, we're fighting with a ton of this stuff, but we're on it. I'm game. Let's get it done. Money, money, money. Let's go. But the front end of this thing, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do much, but it's all just, I'm telling you right now, man, it's fried. So that's why we're dealing with, replacing the whole suspension under the truck. It's not going to be that hard. It just, he called me up today after we had this discussion when we put the exhaust on, and we looked through LMC's catalog, because I don't know why he's all hipped on LMC, but we looked through LMC's catalog, and like I said, man, it was, they had the whole thing. Yeah, everything you needed came in a kit for $500, and I'm like, dang, $500. It's not bad. But now you gotta stop and think, well, it's $500. What kind of springs we gonna get? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna get the Chinese aftermarket, knockoff stuff, or what? But $500, man, it's very enticing to do that. But he went to order it online, and of course it's back ordered. Why it's back ordered, I don't know. Because most of the stuff you can get, any parts place. But hey, that's what we're doing. I still got, the heater core and all that kind of stuff I'm going to change, and he's bought the shocks, and I'm going to jerk the shocks off this thing and just leave them off till he can get back down here and with the shocks, and yada, 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 and, the whole thing. But one dead giveaway on this truck, if you look at that gap, over that front tire in the fender well, now, how many of you know how a truck sits? A truck always sits up in the back, at least 2 inches higher than the front. This thing is sitting level, all right? That's what caused me to crawl up under this thing and really see what was going on under there. And that's when I found them rear springs collapsed. It's honestly, what it's doing is riding on the helper springs. That's what it's doing. And he's telling me, it's the shocks, it's this, and I'm like, no, the shocks don't have nothing to do with the helper spring sitting down where it's carrying the load. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's our next thing. On top of a bunch of other little bull crap, but these videos just gonna keep coming because they might be one every 2 or 3 days. I know this weekend I ain't working on it because I got to go help my sister. She got plumber problems in her house, so I got to go down there. I got to go to Murfreesboro down in Uncle Tony's neighborhood and deal with that crap. But anyway, this is just another one, just letting y'all know. Sorry about the comments on them other 2 videos getting cut off. I don't know. I uploaded it just like I always do. And like I said, again, got done with the truck, sat down and drank a few cold snacks, and then remembered I told everybody I would shoot a video on the RTV stuff, and yeah, I was repeating myself. So have a laugh at that one. But hey, we're still on it. We're going to get her done. I'm not sure it's going to get done by the first week in November, but we're going for it. Let's get this thing out of here. Let him drive it and have some fun with it. Hey, this is a little on the serious side. I've been hounding him forever, to try to buy this truck, and I'm doing it for him, and it's not costing him a dime. All the labor's free. He just buys parts. I fix it. So he comes in here last week, right, and we put the exhaust under it. Of course, there were some arguments. If you know him, it's not personal. That's just the way he is. He likes to fuss, likes to argue, likes to cuss, that kind of thing. But he tells me, he goes, hey, he said, I just want you to know that I have wheeled this truck to you. I've redone my wheel. He said, if anything happens to me, the truck is yours. All right, well, at that point, I'm like, well, crap, dude, I'm not wishing for you to die. I'd like to have the truck, but there was no need in, that. But hey, I appreciate it. It means a lot that, he's thinking ahead and making sure this truck is taken care of and gets to the right people so it just don't fall in the junkyard somewhere. But anyway, there you go. That's what we're up against in the next few weeks. Not sure exactly how we're going to get all this stuff done, especially with that stuff on back order. And he's talking about, well, we'll just go buy it a piece at a time. And I'm like, dang, dude, the springs a piece at a time is $500. If you can buy the whole kit, man, with everything for $500, that's the way I'd play it. Call them up and see. Hey, is it going to be, 3 or 4 weeks lead time before that stuff ships? Whatever. Because honestly, all we need is to get the front end fixed. And then, heck, we can wait the spring if need be to fix that rear end. I mean, the bushings are still up under there on the trailing arms. The springs are collapsed, right? I'll give it that. Not sure how much that's going to mess with the shock situation, but we can get all the front end done and then wait on the rear part till spring, or heck, I mean, we still got around here, we got till middle of December, 1st of January before it really starts getting really bad weather. So we'll just see how that turns out. Anyway, just thought I'd throw this one up, man, and explain to you this stuff is just going to keep going, and I'm going to throw them up every time I get one done. Anyway, hope things are good in your life. Hope things are good in your world. Hope things are treating you right. That's the main thing. Um, Again, like, share, subscribe. Like I said on the last one, I don't care. I'm just doing what I need to do, and I'm hoping some people out there enjoys, what I'm doing. But anyway, y'all take care. I'll see you on the next one.